Hello children, welcome to the class. Today let us discuss the unit 6th of geography section, India water resources. Children, you know that India has abundant of natural resources. Among them, you have studied about the soil. We have different type of soils. So, in India, different types of crops are grown. And you have studied about the forest resource. You know that forest is very important resource in India. The important trees and the distribution of forests, etc. And water is another important natural resource. And we have different minerals and we have different fossil fuels like coal, petroleum, natural gas, etc. Children, today we are going to discuss about the water resources. In this lesson, you are going to study about the importance of water resources, the sources of water in India, major rivers of India, irrigation, meaning and its need, types of irrigation and their distribution, and multi-purpose river valley projects. Children, in this lesson, you have to learn to explain the importance of water resources and to mention the sources of water, and the most important, you have to locate all the rivers in India map. So, after learning this lesson, you have to develop the skill of locating all the rivers in the map of India, and you have to explain the meaning and the need of irrigation in India, and you have to mention the types of irrigation and the distribution of different type of irrigation in India, and also you have to develop the skill of locating all the multi-purpose river valley projects in the map of India. Children, we study all these points in 2 sessions. Today, we are going to discuss about the importance of water resources, the sources of water, and major rivers of India. Children, you know that water is very important resource. The life on the earth is possible because of water. You know that the earth is the planet which has plenty of water. So, earth is called as watery planet because of water, and because of atmosphere, life exists on the earth. Today let us discuss about the importance of water in our life and in our day-to-day importance of water in our day-to-day life. Children, you know that without water it is impossible to sustain life. So, water is very precious natural resource. We use water for drinking purpose, and for cooking purpose we use water. Without water we can't cook. And we use water for washing and agriculture. India is an agricultural country. We need plenty of water to grow crops. So, for agriculture, water is very important. And for industries also, water is very essential. And we use water for navigation. We know that water is one of the important means of transport. We have ships, boats, etc. Through the sea route only, we are conducting maximum imports and exports. And we use water for fishing. We know that fishing is an important occupation for the people in the coastal areas. And the most important thing is generation of hydroelectricity. And hydroelectricity is the important source of energy in India. We generate electricity with water. We have constructed many dams to the rivers and we are generating hydroelectricity. So, water is very important natural resource. Children, you have to explain the importance of water resources. You may be asked a question, water is an important natural resources. Why? Then you have to explain all these points. Children, India is endowed with substantial water resources. You know that India has many rivers and gets sufficient rainfall, and it has extensive surface water resource. It also has vast reserves of groundwater. Children, we can classify the water resources into two groups. One is surface water resources and another one is groundwater resources. Water resources available in India can be classified into two groups. One is surface water resource and another is groundwater resources. Children, the water located on the top of the earth's surface is called surface water. The important source of surface water is rainfall and the rivers. You know that India has many rivers and another important source of surface water is lakes and tanks. These are the examples for surface water in India. Let us discuss about groundwater resources. What is groundwater? Groundwater is the water present beneath earth's surface in soil pore spaces and in the fractures of rock formations. Look at the picture. The springs and the seeps are the important sources of groundwater resources, and we are tapping groundwater through tube wells. Let us discuss about major rivers of India. India has many river systems. They are natural resources of the country. The rivers are very useful for irrigation, generating hydel power, inland waterways, fishing, etc. You know that the rivers are very useful to us. Now let us discuss about the river systems of India. You have to mention the river systems and to locate all the rivers in India map. The river system of India is classified into two groups. One is the rivers of North India and the second one is the rivers of Peninsular India. What is the major difference between these two groups? The North Indian rivers are perennial rivers and South Indian rivers are non-perennial rivers. What is perennial river? The North Indian rivers flow fully throughout the year. During the rainy season, they flow fully with the help of rainwater, and during summer season, they flow fully with the help of melting ice in the Himalayas. Let us discuss one by one. The North Indian rivers are known as the Himalayan rivers. Why? Because all the North Indian rivers rises in the Himalayas. So, they are perennial rivers. And the important rivers of North India are, observe the map, the Indus, the Ganges and the Brahmaputra. These three are the important North Indian rivers. Let us discuss one by one. Children, the river Indus rises near Mount Kailash. Observe the map. Where is Mount Kailash? See the picture of Mount Kailash. This is Mount Kailash. The river Indus, and it is also called as the river Sindhu. This river rises near Mount Kailash, and initially it flows northwestwards. Observe the map carefully. It flows northwestwards, then it flows towards the southwest and it enters Pakistan. Finally, it joins the Arabian Sea near Karachi. See, you have to locate the river Indus in the map. And the total length of this river is, see, from the birthplace of the river to the mouth of the river where it joins the sea. The total length is 2,897 kilometers, of which 709 kilometers lies in India. In India, flows up to 709 kilometers, but the major part of its course in Pakistan. Let us know about the tributaries of the river Indus. The river Indus has many tributaries. Observe the map and you have to mention the tributaries of river Indus: Jhelum, Chenab, Beas, Ravi and Satluj. Have you marked all these rivers in your map? Very good. Jhelum, Chenab, Beas, Ravi and Satluj. These are the important tributaries of the river Indus. Now let us know about the river Ganga. We know that Ganga is very sacred rivers of Hindus. The river Ganga rises in the Gangotri glacier. It rises in the Gangotri glacier. Look at the picture of Gangotri. This is the birthplace of river Ganga. And the total length is 2,525 kilometers. Where it flows? Observe the map. The river Ganga is the largest river of India. Among all the rivers of India, Ganga is the largest river in India. After it joins the Brahmaputra and it continues as Padma and finally flows into the Bay of Bengal. Let us know about the tributaries of the river Ganga. See, Yamuna, Gagra, Gandak. Observe the map carefully. Which are the tributaries of Ganga? Ramaganga, Gomati, Sharada, Son and Kosi. These are the tributaries of the river Ganga. And among the tributaries of Ganga, the Yamuna is the largest tributary. The river Yamuna is the largest tributary of Ganga. Let us discuss about the river Brahmaputra. The river Brahmaputra rises near Lake Manasa Sarovar in Tibet and it flows towards the east. Observe the map. It flows towards the east. It enters India through a narrow gorge in Arunachal Pradesh. See, this is river Brahmaputra in Arunachal Pradesh where it enters India. And then it flows to the west and turns to the south in Bangladesh where it joins the Ganga and its length is 2589 kilometers. The rivers of South India are also known as peninsular rivers. These rivers are non-perennial rivers because most of the South Indian rivers rise in the Western Ghats. The important rivers of South India are Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, Narmada, Tapi and their tributaries. These are the important South Indian rivers. We can classify the South Indian rivers as the east flowing rivers and the west flowing rivers. The east flowing rivers flow eastward and they join Bay of Bengal, and the west flowing rivers flow westwards and join Arabian Sea. Let us discuss one by one. The Mahanadi. The Mahanadi is an important west flowing river. It rises in Sihava range. Observe the map where it rises. It rises in Sivaha range and it flows towards the east and joins the Bay of Bengal. The length of the river is 851 kilometers. And let us know about the river Godavari. The river Godavari rises in Triambaka in the Western Ghat. It rises in Triambaka. Look at the picture of Triambaka. And the Godavari flows towards the east and it joins the Bay of Bengal. The total length is 1465 kilometers and this is the longest river in South India. The longest river in India is the river Ganga and the Godavari is the longest river in South India. Children, let us know about river Krishna. The river Krishna rises near Mahabaleshwara. It also rises in the Western Ghat. Look at the picture of Mahabaleshwara. And it flows towards the southeast and it joins Bay of Bengal. The total length is 1400 kilometers. Let us know the tributaries of river Krishna. Bhima, Tungabhadra, Koyna, Ghataprabha and Malaprabha. These are the important tributaries of the river Krishna. Children, let us discuss about the river Kaveri. It is called as Jeevanadi of Karnataka. The river Kaveri rises at Talakaveri in Kodagu district of Karnataka. It also took birth in Western Ghat and it flows towards the east and it joins the Bay of Bengal. Look at the picture of Talakaveri. The important tributaries of the river Kaveri are the Hemavati, Shimsha, the Kapila, Arkavati, Lakshmana Tirtha, Suvarnavati and Bhavani. These are the important tributaries of the river Kaveri. Children, we discussed about the east flowing rivers of children. Let us discuss about the west flowing rivers. The important west flowing rivers of South India are the Narmada and the Tapi. Children, let us discuss about the west flowing river, the Narmada. The Narmada rises in Amarakantak hills. See, this is the Amarakantak hill. And look at the picture. This is the birthplace of river Narmada. The Narmada rises in the Amarakantaka hills and it flows westward through a narrow gorge called Marble Gorge. Look at the picture of Marble Gorge. This is Marble Gorge. The Narmada through this narrow gorge flows westward and then it joins the Arabian Sea. Let us know about the west flowing river, the Tapi. The Tapi rises near Multai. See, this is Multai. And the river Tapi flows westward and it joins the Arabian Sea. These two are the important west flowing rivers of South India. And there are other important west flowing rivers. For example, Sabarmati, Mandovi, Zuari, Bedti, Sharavati, Kali, Netravati and Periyar. These are the important west flowing rivers, but they are very short and swift. These rivers are very short because most of the rivers like Sharavati, Bedti, Kali, Netravati rise in Western Ghat and rises in the west side of the Western Ghat. They join Arabian Sea. So, they are very short and they are also very swift. Children, let us recall few points what we learnt in the class. Which is the largest river of India? You have to fill the blanks. The largest river of India is? You are right. It is the river Ganga. Which is the longest river of South India? Recall what you learned. The longest river in South India is the Godavari. The river Krishna rises near dash. Yes, you are right. They rise. The river Krishna rises near Mahabaleshwara in Maharashtra. And the river Narmada rises in dash. Yes, the river Narmada rises in Amarakantaka hills. Which is the longest tributary of the river Ganga? Yes, it is the Yamuna. Children, let us do another activity. I will show some rivers and you have to name the rivers what I show. Which river it is? This is the river Ganga. Which river it is? It is the important west flowing river. Yes, it is the Narmada. Which river it is? Remember what you learnt? This is the Mahanadi. And this one? Yes, this is the longest river of South India. Yes, you are right. This is the Godavari. And this one? Yes, this is Kaveri. This one? Yes, this is the river Krishna. Children, you have to draw the outline map of India and to show all these rivers in the map. Children, in today's class, you have learnt about the importance of water resources and the important sources of water like the surface water and the underground water. And you have to know to give examples for surface water as well as the underground water. And the important river systems in India. The two classification of the river system. One is the North Indian rivers and the South Indian rivers. The important North Indian rivers are the Sindhu, the Ganga and the Brahmaputra. And you also learned about the important South Indian rivers, the east flowing rivers as well as west flowing rivers. The Mahanadi, the Godavari, the Krishna are the important east flowing rivers which join the Bay of Bengal, and the important west flowing rivers, the Narmada and the Tapi and other small west flowing rivers. So, I hope you learnt to explain the importance of water resource and to locate all the rivers in India map. Thank you, children.